My story is interesting.
Okay.
In reservist terms, I got what we call a fastball. Normally work up for deployment can be 6 to 7 months. One day I was walking down the hall. I work at the Major Tilson VC Armories and Police Training Center, so the regiments are all there. I was walking down the hall and I spoke to the deputy commanding officer, and he said, "You know what, we want to promote you. Let's send you to Gagetown to do your 6 course, your warrants course." No sir, I can't take a month off to do a warrants course, but I can take 7 months off and go to Afghanistan. So he closed one book, he opened another, and he said, "Here's a position." And this was in early December, and the paperwork was done the next day. And because I had a full-time job, they weren't going to assign me to the position until they knew my job would let me go. So ironically, on the 7th of December, I met with the chief, told him of what my intentions were, and it was probably the worst kept secret in Windsor that this guy wanted to go to Afghanistan. Went on vacation. When I returned on the 21st of December, the police department had a comprehensive military leave policy that they'd written. I signed up for the tour on the 22nd of December. The 7th of January, I was in CFB Petawawa doing my workup training. February 22nd, I arrived on the ground in Afghanistan. So from "do you want to go" to "I'm here" was 6 weeks in them. And we as the West, or the more powerful nations, have responsibility to at least give people some basic things that we take for granted and we complain about. And I think that's the thing that I look at what people complain about here now, and I shake my head and I just say, so the price of gasoline is $1.35 a liter. No one has blown up at a Let and Wyandotte in the past couple of days. You don't have to worry about sending your daughter to school and wondering if the teacher who's teaching her is going to get killed because the Taliban object to women being taught. Or is your house going to be rocketed? Or are the drug dealers, if you decide you're not going to grow poppies on your acre of land and you want to go corn, are the drug dealers going to show up at 3 o'clock in the morning and kill you? These aren't concerns or issues that we have here. The price of gas. Well, oh well, I'll pay for it, and I'll be glad that I have the opportunity to go and buy gas, to drive a truck and do what I choose to do. And I understand that there's all kinds of people all over the world that don't have that option. And we have that option here because other people did what they did to ensure that we have it. And I think it's more important to me now than it ever was, because I've seen what the alternative is, and I know what I'm willing to do to ensure that what goes on in these other countries, specifically Afghanistan, never happens here, period. Well, since I've been home, I've got friends that have returned, so I watch for these guys on the TV. And I think the media, much like most of the West, is unaware as to what's really going on in Afghanistan. There's very superficial 2-minute clip reporting. That cannot encompass everything that's going on. And because of that, the people who aren't directly tied to the mission, who are just watching the 30 seconds on the news, pick up what the specific political view of that news channel is. And it's unfortunate because, in my perspective, I saw a lot of positive, real change. I saw the schools that Canadians were building. I saw the water systems that were being done. I saw real change in the lives of the people in Afghanistan. I also saw, at the end of my tour, I saw a 15-year-old female's face, which in the Kandahar province, she wasn't wearing a burqa, and she was not afraid to go out and like that. That would never be on the news. For soldiers who are on the ground, who would see women, when I got there, covered from head to toe in a burqa, to see a 15-year-old, that's what she looked like to me, her face exposed, that was a huge leap of faith, saying that she was not afraid of what the Taliban would do to her if they saw her uncovered. So for us, when we saw that, it vindicated everything that we'd been there to do. She was freer, she felt safer, and somehow in some way, myself and my colleagues had contributed to that. At least that's how I felt. Did that make the news? No. Would it make the news? I don't think so. And again, even if it did, a person in Canada would not understand the depth of change from seeing an uncovered young female face.